Hey guys, I just wanted to make this quick video because today a press release came out. I'm going to share that press release. I'm going to read it. I'm going to give some commentary and share my thoughts. But it's Firefight, the short film directed by Sheldon Lettich, starring Frank Dux, Phillip and Simon Rhee, Brian Thompson. It's a part of movie history, in my opinion, because it really kind of kick-started everything in a way. It's almost like a prequel to Bloodsport. But David J. Moore, Sheldon Lettich's publicist, put it out. I want to give him a shout out because he did hook me up with some really cool books that he has written. The Good, the Tough, and the Deadly. This book is like the ultimate resource, guys, and I'll link it in the description below if you want to pick it up. But it's a massive study on action movies and stars from around the world from the 60s to the present, filled with more than 1,000 in-depth movie reviews that cover every action star who's crossed over from the world of martial arts, sports, professional wrestling, and stunt work. And there's great images in here. There's cool interviews. You guys definitely have to pick that up. That is a high-quality book, great resource. Speaking of great resources, he also wrote this, World Gone Wild, A Survivor's Guide to Post-Apocalyptic Movies. So in this one, obviously, it'll cover Mad Max, Terminator, just everything. In fact, it says, by studying the films reviewed in this book, gain pointers and a frame of reference on how the characters in these films behaved when their worlds were on the brink of desolation. You know, funny enough, I'm actually writing a post-apocalyptic movie script, so this is actually going to be such a crazy resource. But even if you just want to read about those films for entertainment, that is great. One last thing, speaking of David J. Moore, he's the one that actually hooked me up with Alexander Nevsky. Check those videos out if you haven't seen him. Really cool. He's kind of like the Russian Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we were talking about, you know, how he broke into Hollywood, and of course his new film, Gunfight at Rio Bravo. But Alexander sent me this. I got a nice little package here, and let's see what it is. This is obviously one of the perks of being the Viking Samurai, man. Meeting these people, talking to them, and getting cool ass stuff, right? Okay, here we go. A Joe Cornette film, Alexander Nevsky, Gunfight at Rio Bravo. And it's signed by both of them. To David, thank you for the support, Joe Cornette, and then to David, thank you, Alexander Nevsky. So thanks, guys. Put it in this bookcase here, and this is really cool. So this is really just my second signed DVD. My first one, when I met Michael Jai White, right? Universal Soldier, The Return. I got that one signed, so that's pretty cool. I'll put these next to each other. Okay, so moving on, let's get to that press release. And this is so exciting, man. This is how this channel, like, levels up, right? I mean, I'm getting the exclusive premiere to share with you guys. So it says, unseen for 40 years, Sheldon Lettich's action-packed short film Firefight, newly restored in 2K, will have its premiere on the Viking Samurai YouTube channel on March 2nd, 2023. For immediate release, Hollywood, California, February 15th, 2023. So David J. Moore is obviously getting this thing out all over the place, different movie sites, martial arts sites, etc. And hopefully that'll bring a lot of traffic to my channel, which would be really cool, because within a week of the premiere, by the way, I'm going to have Sheldon Lettich back on for a live video, so you guys can ask questions after you'd watch the film, or, you know, and make sure to get his book, From Vietnam to Van Damme, by the way, because he does talk about Firefight and obviously a lot of other stuff, including his time in Vietnam himself. And that is linked in the description. So if you guys want to get any of this stuff, man, these cool books from David J. Moore, Nevsky's new film, Gunfight at Rio Bravo, and of course Sheldon Lettich's book, From Vietnam to Van Damme, linked in the description below, and you can pick that up, and you guys should pick that up. It's good stuff. Oh, and speaking of live videos, I'm doing more live videos, so make sure if you guys see this in time, tune in tomorrow, because I'm going to have Lorenzo Lamas at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go live, do a fun Q&A, talk about the martial arts training, and obviously the show Renegade and some of his films. And if you guys can't make that live, you know, definitely check it out after the fact. It's going to be a great discussion. Same thing with the one I'm going to have Sheldon with next month. If you can't make it live, check it out after the fact. It's going to be great. So going back to the press release. It just may be the greatest short film the world has never seen. A true treat for action fans. The film that got the ball rolling. Firefight comes from the mastermind of legendary action filmmaker Sheldon Lettich, Lionheart and Double Impact, of course, and stars Frank Dux from Bloodsport, Phillip and Simon Rhee, Best of the Best, and Brian Thompson from Terminator, Cobra, Lionheart, and so much more.
You're up, stud.
In a tale of soldiers fighting for survival. In a way, it's a prequel to Bloodsport in more ways than one. Within the film, we bear witness to Frank Dux' heroics while battling in Vietnam. Outside the film, while editing Firefight, Sheldon Lettich met Mark DiSalle, and the two, along with Frank Dux, would collaborate in bringing the martial arts classic Bloodsport to life. Talk about just the right people meeting and then, getting something done. But check out this video where I talk about why Bloodsport is basically the greatest martial arts film of all time. That's a good video. Oh, and Sheldon Lettich, by the way, makes a statement in this press release right here. He says, back in 1983, I made a short 20-minute Vietnam War movie titled Firefight. 40 years later, it still remains a watchable movie. But more importantly, it's a crucial relic from the beginnings of an era, which had the involvement of a few key personalities who were pivotal in the creation of some of the most well-loved and well-regarded action movies of the 1980s. The story was based upon a scene I had created for my Vietnam theatrical stage piece, Tracers. The director rightly decided not to include it simply because it was too grand and ambitious and unwieldy to present on a small stage. Also, a crucial character was a CH-46 helicopter. The musical Miss Saigon had managed to land a Huey helicopter on their stage, but we didn't have nearly the budget nor the space to land an even bigger helicopter on our small stage. So the piece was jettisoned from the play, but afterwards I couldn't get it out of my mind. The story was a good one and deserved to be heard and seen. A few years later, I reworked that short scene into screenplay form and determined that I was going to put it on film, a medium which could accommodate both a big battle and a big helicopter. Yeah, there is definitely a big battle in the film. Obviously, there's, it's war, there's guns, there's grenades. But more importantly, we're going to bear witness and see Phillip Rhee, who won the World Karate Tournament for Best of the Best, fight Frank Dux, who won the Underground Kumite Fighting Championship. Those guys are going to fight together in Firefight, right? And old rules are thrown out the window, obviously. So Phillip Rhee is a tournament fighter. And, of course, Frank Dux is a tournament fighter, but, there's no rules, so...
I understand. You can't compare apples to oranges, okay? This is not MMA.
Mm-hmm.
This is not boxing, okay?
How do they fare on the battlefield, man? It's all in Firefight. But anyway, Firefight has just been restored in 2K high definition and will premiere exclusively on the Viking Samurai YouTube channel, like I said, March 2nd. Stay tuned at Viking Samurai for updates. Also, check out Sheldon Lettich's Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube page. Okay, so all that's linked below. Obviously, you know how to get to my YouTube page if you're watching this video. And then I will be hosting Sheldon Lettich live March 6th. So, of course, I'll get word out as we get closer to the date. And, wow, this is going to be something, man. Talk about, leveling up. So, special shout-out. Thank you, Sheldon Lettich, for letting me share this on the channel. Thanks, David J. Moore, for getting this publicity thing out there and helping drive traffic to the channel. And, of course, these people need to, and they're going to very much want to see this Firefight film. And then we could all witness Frank Dux in action.
Look, Frank, the government has invested a lot of time and money in you. Uncle Sam can't afford to let you get hurt.
I won't get hurt.
That's why we're here, to make sure of that. Don't make it tough on us, Frank.